Hello and welcome along to today's solve of the Telegraph Cryptic Crossword. Today we're going to have a crack at Cryptic Crossword number 31033 from the 16th of September. If you're looking to hone your skills in cryptic crossword solving, or perhaps you're completely new to cryptic crosswords and you want to learn a bit about how to go about solving them, then you're in the right place. Hopefully there'll be lots of opportunities here to explain to you how cryptic crosswords are created and how they're solved. Okay, so let's crack on. One across. Shots echo loudly next to castles. Okay, so probably the first thing to say with cryptic crosswords is that most cryptic crosswords, not all of them, but most of them, are created in two parts. There's a straight part, which is the definition, the answer we're looking for, and the cryptic part, which is the wordplay that we need to put together to generate that word. So a good thing to try and do when you first get to a clue, if you're not quite sure where to start, is to have a look and say which end of the clue looks most like the straight part and which end looks like the cryptic part. Because the straight part will normally be either at the beginning or the end of the clue. So looking at this one, if castles was the straight part, then loudly next to doesn't really finish as a sentence, as an instruction. So I think here the straight part of the clue is shots. So we're looking for something to do with echo loudly and castles together to give a word meaning shots. So it could be shots as in doses, like injections, that kind of shots. It could be goals and kicks in a sporting terms. Echo is obviously the NATO phonetic alphabet word for E. So maybe it begins with E for echo. Yeah, it does. So E is echo. Loudly in musical notation is F for forte, sometimes double F for fortissimo. Musical notation appears quite often in cryptic crosswords, so look out for that. So maybe to brush up on your musical notation words and phrases. So E for echo, F for loudly. Castles are forts, and that gives us efforts, which are shots. That's good. Okay, 5 across. Confused after Papa swam about like a duck. So Papa could mean father or dad. Pa, PA, pa is often used as an abbreviation for dad. But Papa, again, is also the phonetic alphabet word for the letter P. So I think, and looking at this and swam about like a duck, could be paddled, which is P for Papa with confused after it. So addled is confused, and we get swam about like a duck, paddled. Okay, talk about Lewis Carroll character. So looking at this one, we could either have the straight part as being perhaps a Lewis Carroll character, or talk about. Or perhaps one of the most famous Lewis Carroll characters, Alice. I've seen Alice in crosswords before, but also Hatter, as in the Mad Hatter. And C is a recognised abbreviation for about. It means circa, which is about. So C and Hatter gives chatter, which is to talk. Now, if you're not sure about these abbreviations, and there are lots of them that are recognised, you can't just shorten any word you want into a single letter or a couple of letters. They have to be recognised abbreviations in major dictionaries like the Chambers or Collins or Oxford English Dictionary. And I've produced a downloadable PDF if you're interested. It contains, firstly, a list of all the different types of crossword clues, so things like anagrams and containers and spoonerisms and andlets and so on. There's a few pages explaining and giving examples of those types of clues. And then also the second half of the document contains a big long list of recognised abbreviations that I'm aware of. Single, one letter, two letter, some three letter standard abbreviations. So if that's something you think might be of interest to you, then the link should be in the download in the description. Just click on the link there and it should automatically download the PDF for you. No need to sign up to anything. Certainly not going to don't have to pay for anything. It's free there. So just click on the link and download that PDF. That might help you out when you're looking to try and solve cryptics, looking for sort of standard definitions and abbreviations. Okay, all that being said, let's get back onto the crossword. 10 across. Female swans in river showing bill. Well, a female swan is a pen. So this looks looking like the straight part of the clue is probably going to be bill, showing bill. River, there are a number of short words, short names of rivers. R itself is a recognised abbreviation for river, so it could be R. There are others in the UK like UR and D. The Po in Italy is used quite often as an abbreviation. Yeah, okay, in this case it's X. So we have female swans in river, so literally pens in river X gives the bill, which is an expense. Okay, 4 out of 4. Lying flat almost by big cat, say. So say is a homophone indicator, so it sounds like indicator, which implies that the answer or part of the answer could sound like a big cat. So a bit like a lion, maybe, or a tiger, but just spelt differently. That would imply that the straight part of the clue is lying or lying flat. Or being prone is lying flat. Yeah, actually, it's the other way around, interestingly enough. This is pronounce. So an ounce is a big cat. It's not a common big cat. We obviously think of lions and tigers and leopards and cheetahs and so on. But an ounce is also another type of big cat that does actually come up quite often in crosswords, I've noticed. So lying flat, as I said, was prone, P-R-O-N-E, almost. Here is an indicator that we take almost all of the word, but not quite all of it. So we lose the last letter. So we get pron, P-R-O-N, and ounce to give pronounce, which is to say. Very good. 5 in a row. 12 across. Shouts of horror after king hums. So again, in my list of recognised abbreviations, you'll find king appears several times. It can be abbreviated to R for Rex, and also K, as in the chess notation, king. Yeah, so something that hums in the sense of smelling badly, hums, is reeks. Shouts of horror are eeks. After R for Rex for king gives reeks, which is hums. Okay. Small drink reflected mood. Yeah. So this isn't too bad. So small, again, is abbreviated to S fairly commonly. S for small, M for medium, L for large are common abbreviations. Reflected here is an indicator that we need to reverse the word or part of the word that we're looking for. So a drink reflected, the drink in this case would be port. So port reflected gives trop after S for strop. And if you're in a strop, you are in a mood. Okay. 15 across. Worn out old hat used irregularly. Okay, so irregularly is a common anagram indicator. So I think we're looking for a word that means worn or worn out. I mean, out can also be an anagram indicator. Old hat used is 10 letters and we only need 9. Old can be abbreviated to O, so that would then only give us 8. But actually looking at hat used, I think the answer is exhausted. So old is X, So an old flame, an old partner might be an X, for example. And then hat used irregularly gives us exhausted. Okay, going well. 17 across. Someone needing treatment lay occasionally in a calm manner. Yeah, this is patiently. So someone needing treatment is a patient. Lay occasionally. So the indicator word here occasionally tells us to take occasional letters or perhaps alternating letters of the word lay. So if we take the first and third letter, we get ly. Added to patient gives patiently, and that's in a calm manner. Okay, let's see if we can keep the streak going. 19 across. Back in government can eventually make law. Yeah. Okay, this is enact. So there are two parts to help us find the answer to this clue. Firstly, the word in. So this is telling us that the answer is in the following word. So in government can eventually. But we also have the word back. So back is a reversal indicator. So back in is telling us to look for the word written backwards in government can eventually. And if you take the E from eventually, N-A-C-T, you get enact, which is to make law. 22. Journey across top of gently elevated strip of land. Okay, I think our success streak is going to come to an end here. Not immediately seeing that. It could be a word for a journey. Top of gently is G, literally the top letter of gently, G. It could mean an elevated strip of land, or it could be top of gently G and then a word for a strip of land or an elevated strip of land to mean a journey. Now let's go on. What's next? Elope with an RAF rogue leaving fine aircraft. Okay, so rogue. A rogue in an old-fashioned sense might be a cad. Sometimes a cur or rat is a rogue. Rogue is also an anagram indicator. No, don't see that one. Okay, let's go on. Acquired a dreadfully odd poet. Again, dreadfully is a clear anagram indicator. So are we looking for an anagram of dreadfully odd? Did I say poet? Odd pet. Dreadfully odd pet is 6 letters and A, so it needs to begin with A. Yeah. Adopted is the answer. So it's A with an anagram of odd pet to give acquired, meaning adopted. Okay, 26 across. Golf chaps inside fixed slice. Golf is another one of those phonetic alphabet letters. Golf obviously is the letter G. Chaps could refer to trousers. There are some trousers called chaps. I think cowboys and things wear them. But it more likely is men, plural of man, men. So I think, yeah, this is segment. So this is G-men, golf chaps, G-men inside fixed. Something that's fixed is set to give a slice, which is a segment. Okay, 27 across. Thin student appearing in poster. So student appears quite often, usually abbreviated to L for learner, as you might see on a car. Posters are sort of adverts and bills, pictures. So I think this is a word for meaning thin, with L inside a word for a poster. But I'm not seeing that one at the minute. So let's crack on. That was a good start, especially at the top there. We've got plenty of letters. We should be able to get through these. English ship going around peninsula makes a break for it. So English is often abbreviated to E, and we have the E. Ship is often abbreviated to SS. Yeah, so sailing ship or steamship. And a peninsula is a cape. So obviously you have Cape Horn, Cape of Good Hope, and so on as a peninsula, and to make a break for it is to escape. Okay, prefer, holding, large, spice up. Yeah, this is flavour. So to prefer something is to favour it, holding L for large, as we said a bit earlier on. I think we had small, we had S for small before, now we've got L for large. In favour, to give flavour, which is to spice up. Grass Simon regularly cut for relation. Yes, I think this is ratio. So again, a grass, somebody who grasses up people, somebody who snitches or tells on people, is a rat. So it's that kind of grass, not the green stuff that grows in your garden. So rat, and then Simon regularly cut. So if you take the regular letters from Simon, so if you take the first, third and fifth letters away, you're left with IO. Rat and IO gives ratio, and a ratio here is a relation between numbers. It's not a relation as in an aunt or uncle or a brother. This is a mathematical relation to give ratio. Okay, Gran tests out most rum. Okay, so rum can be an anagram indicator, rum being unusual or strange or odd. But I think actually in this case, yeah, this is out is the anagram indicator we need to use. Gran tests is our 9 letters, and most rum would suggest it's something ist. We have the E and the T, and with the remaining letters, that's clearly strangest. So strangest is most rum, most strange, strangest, from an anagram of Gran tests. Okay, 5 down. Hope everyone catches bug. Hope everyone catches. We've got the P. Yeah, it's another hidden clue. So this is peeve. So catches here is the contains indicator, and it's within hope everyone, P-E-E-V-E. If you bug somebody, you peeve them. Somebody who is peeved is bugged. Leaving from French district, unsure, not half. Okay, this looks like it's departure. So departure is leaving. So how do we get that from the clue? So from French is often used as de, in French. But I think in this case, a French district is a départ. So the French have different departments. Department départ is a French district. And then literally half of unsure, the second half of unsure is URE. So depart and ur gives departure, which is leaving. Okay, it's 7 down. Broken legs, not the most extended. Yeah, with those letters, that looks like longest. And another anagram. So this is broken as the anagram indicator for legs not. So if you rearrange the letters of legs not, you get the most extended is the longest. That's good. See if we can finish all the down clues from the top here. Attended to a daughter's cut getting bandaged. Bandaged is dressed. Yeah, dressed is the answer. So something that's bandaged is dressed. A bandage is a dressing. Attended to is addressed. A-D-D-R-E-S-S-E-D. With A and D is a recognised abbreviation of daughter. So with A and D cut from addressed, we're left with dressed, which is bandaged. Very good. Right, top half done. 14 down. Stopped before opening each door initially. Stopped before opening each door. Before is pre, so I think this is pre, and so the word means stopped. Yeah, so this is prevented. So stopped is the straight part of the clue, prevented. Before is pre, and opening is event, and then each day initially, this is a indicator telling us to take the initial letters of each day, ed. So stopped is prevent, ed, prevented. 16 down. You might see a rabbit after these words disturbed the osprey. Okay, yeah, so another anagram, full of anagrams today. This is hey presto. So the anagram indicator here is disturbed the osprey, so the letters of osprey. And in a magician sense, he might say hey presto and pull a rabbit out of a hat or whatever. So you might see a rabbit after hey presto, an anagram of the osprey. Okay. Exercises with husband wearing wigs, maybe. Okay, well, exercises, physical exercises, is often abbreviated to PE or PT, physical training, physical exercise. H is recognised abbreviation of husband, so there's probably an H in there somewhere. Does it mean wigs, maybe? So sort of hair pieces, toupees. I don't know. Not seeing that one. Let's go on. Tiny creature in pond, bit European. Yeah, I think with those letters, this is tadpole. So the straight part of the clue here is tiny creature in a pond. So tadpoles, tiny creatures. A bit is a tad. A tad is a kind of slang word for a bit. And a European is a Pole. Somebody from Poland, somebody European. Tadpole, tiny creature. Okay, 20 down. Unskilled, adult, friend, picked up, game. Well, A is an abbreviation for adult. And we have an A at the beginning. Yeah, so a friend is a mate. So a mate, and then picked up. Picked up can be a homophone indicator, a sounds like indicator in the sense that you've heard something, you've picked it up, but it's also a reversal indicator. And the game referenced here is rugby union, and that recognised abbreviation for rugby union is RU. So amateur is unskilled, a mate with RU picked up gives amateur. 21. American anaesthetist ultimately found in that place. So American can be abbreviated to A, sometimes AM, and sometimes US. Anaesthetist ultimately is T, if that's what we're looking for. It could be the name of an American anaesthetist, but I don't know too many famous American anaesthetists, which suggests that the straight part of the clue is that place, maybe. Well, then there's a question mark which suggests there's something else going on. No, let's go on. Tot upset about snake. Yeah, so this is adder. So an adder is a snake. So the snake is the straight part of the clue. Tot is to add up. To tot something up is to add. And about a recognised abbreviation for the word about, as well as being C for circa, which I think we had earlier on, didn't we? Yes, about, C here for circa, and hatter. Another abbreviation for about is re, as in regarding, which you might see on letters and formal letters and so on. If you upset it, you turn it up the other way, so RE becomes ER. So we have add and ER for about, gives a snake, which is an adder. Okay, last of the down clues. Parking car, Glenn's oddly ignored messengers. Well, parking is P. That's a recognised abbreviation, as in car parks. Messengers, pages. A page can be a messenger. Yes, so again, it's the oddly ignored. This is similar to another clue we had earlier on about ignoring regularly cut in Simon. In this case, it's the same concept, ignoring the odd letters of car Glen. So if you ignore the first, third, fifth, and so on, you're left with A, G, E, and S. So parking with A, G, E, and S gives pages, which are messengers. Okay, well, that's another good run through the clues today. Only 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 left, 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left, so that's good. Just while we're at the halfway stage, or well over the halfway stage actually, just a reminder that if you're enjoying the program today, please give us a like. It helps the algorithm to know that our videos are being watched and being appreciated. If you want to hear more videos from me, want to see those appear in your feed, then please consider giving us a subscribe as well. That'd be much appreciated. Okay, with that said, let's have a look at these across clues and let's see if we can get this finished off fairly quickly. Elope with an RAF rogue leaving fine aircraft. Well, this looks like it should be aeroplane. So how do we get aeroplane? Well, rogue we said was an anagram indicator. Yeah, elope is 5 letters, and RAF is 5 letters. So that's 10 letters. Leaving fine, F is a recognised abbreviation for fine. So if you don't include fine and you have an anagram of elope and RA in a rogue form, in an anagramized form, you get aeroplane, which is aircraft. Okay, let's go for this one. Oh, did I miss this one? I think I missed this one on the first time round. Anyway, let's go for it now. Watch old bishop dish out food. Yeah, I think even without the letters, this one's relatively straightforward. So does the clue mean watch or food? In this case, the wordplay is old bishop. So old is abbreviated by the letter O. B for bishop, as in chess notation. B for bishop, again a recognised abbreviation. So OB, and to dish out food is to serve up food. OB serve gives observe, which is to watch. Okay, American anaesthetist ultimately found in that place. Yeah, this is theatre, I think. So, American anaesthetist, AT. We have A and we have T. So the anaesthetist ultimately is T. Found in that place. So that place is there, THERE. And the question mark is meant to indicate a bit of wordplay that suggests, yes, you would find an anaesthetist in a theatre, as in an operating theatre in a hospital. So I think that's right. I think that's theatre. Okay, we didn't have much of a clue. So let's have a look at this one. 22 across. Journey across top of gently elevated strip of land. Yeah, we had this clue recently, actually, in another crossword that I did, and the answer is ridge. So journey is a ride. So you go on a journey, you go on a ride across the top of gently, literally the first letter of gently, which is G, and it gives you an elevated strip of land, a ridge. Okay, 2 to go. Thin student appearing in poster. Yeah, this is slender. So this is another quite a clever clue. A student appearing in poster makes you think, and made me think indeed, of a poster like a billboard, a picture, an advert, and so on. But actually, in this sense, it's referring to a poster as in somebody who posts something, perhaps somebody who posts a letter. So another word for a poster would be a sender. And if you put the L for student in sender, you get slender, which is thin. Excellent. Okay, 1 to go. Let's just do a quick check through, make sure my fat fingers haven't mistyped any other words. I haven't mistyped too many today, I don't think. So I think I've been fairly good. Yeah, they look okay. Right, last one, 17 down. Exercises with husband wearing wigs, maybe. Well, if exercises are PE, then we've got per. Perhaps. Perhaps. Yeah, I think it's perhaps. So exercises are PE, physical exercise. H for husband, wearing wigs, maybe. And this is not a common use of the word wig. If you wig somebody, you do berate them, or perhaps a telling off. Get a wigging is getting a telling off. It's not a very common word. It's quite an old word, I think. And a synonym for wigs in that context would be rap. If you get rapped for something, get told off for something. So ribs, raps and wigs are essentially synonyms here. So exercises PE with H inside of raps gives perhaps, which is maybe. So there we go. That's the cryptic completed for today. Hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for tuning in. If you did, as I said a bit earlier on, please consider giving the video a like and maybe a subscribe. And if you are fairly new to cryptic crosswords and you would like to download my guide to cryptics, then just click the link in the description. It should take you to an automatically downloading PDF with lots of useful information about different types of cryptic clues and also some of the abbreviations that we talked about today, S for small, M for medium, and things like that. They're all in there, which might be a useful reference for you. With all that being said, as I say, thanks for joining. Look out for more videos from me in a few days' time. Have a good day, the rest of the day, whatever it is you're up to, and I hope to see you again soon. Cheers. Bye.